This is a Seaside FM News Update.
Seaside FM News, brought to you by The Crossing in Windsor, a beautiful, peaceful, empty nester, pet-friendly retirement community located just off Exit 5, Highway 101. Call 902-798-8850 today for your new forever home.
Good afternoon, I'm Alex Patterson, Seaside News. Northern Pulp is beginning to shut down after no decision is made. Hundreds of people in the forestry sector met at Province House today to protest the closure, which would lead to the loss of 2,700 jobs in the sector. In Pictou County, more than 200 people organized to urge the government to keep the January 31st deadline. Premier Stephen McNeil will make a statement on the matter tomorrow. The Nova Scotia government will provide clean drinking water to 324 schools until lead testing is completed. The Department of Education said 40 schools have already been tested and require water, and 284 have yet to be tested. The project is set to cost $1.7 million and begin in January. The testing will be completed by June, and the results will be available by September. All charges against an Afghanistan hostage have been dropped. Joshua Boyle and his wife, Caitlin Coleman, were captured by Taliban-linked extremists while backpacking in Afghanistan and held for 5 years. The charges alleged he assaulted his wife after they returned to Canada. The judge stated that the Crown had failed to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Boyle had committed the crimes. Investigators have laid more charges in relation to historic sexual assaults. The incidents are said to have occurred in the 1970s and 80s. Jadis Joseph Poirier, 77, and Michael Patrick McNutt, 66, have been charged with various crimes after victims came forward. The two men have previously been charged with this investigation after it began in 2016 when other victims reported the assaults. The RCMP are investigating a series of collisions in Lower Sackville. Yesterday morning, a bus collided with a tree on Hillcrest Avenue just before 8 a.m. Shortly after, a car collided with the bus. An RCMP officer responded and began to investigate the scene. Another vehicle then collided with the RCMP cruiser as it approached the scene. No one was injured, and police are continuing the investigation. One officer is dead and 5 injured after a shooting occurred outside the top Russian security office. The Federal Security Service, the equivalent of the RCMP or FBI, said the shooter had not yet entered the building and was alone. The shooting occurred near Lubyanka Square, the former headquarters of the Soviet KGB. Today marks the founding of the original Russian security service, and President Vladimir Putin was making a speech at a concert for the service when the shooting began. President Donald Trump was impeached yesterday. It makes only the third time a president has been impeached under the U.S. Constitution. The process will now go to a trial in the Senate in the new year. The Senate will act as a jury and will vote at the end of the trial whether to remove the president from office. A 2/3 majority is required to remove him. That's your news, and here's your sports. On tonight's NHL schedule, third-place Canadiens face the 18 and 14 Flames. Calgary is in fourth place. Montreal is 8-4 on the road. Division-leading Coyotes welcome the Wild. Blackhawks visit the third-place Jets. Lightning will visit the Stars, who have 19 wins. And the 22-8 Islanders battle the Atlantic Division leading Bruins, who are 12-1 on home ice. In NBA play last night, Toronto defeated the Pistons 112-99, and it was the Celtics 109, Mavericks 103. Toronto is now 19-8, fourth in the East. Next action for the Raptors is against the Wizards tomorrow night. This evening, there's a battle of two first-place clubs at 24-4, the Lakers and the Bucks. This is Week 16 for NFL regular season action, with 3 games slated for Saturday. In the early matchup, 9-5 first-place Texans take on the Buccaneers, who have won 4 in a row. Patriots at 11-3 have a home field battle with the Bulls, who are just 1 game back of New England, and the first-place 11-3 49ers will welcome the Rams. That's your news and sports. Your weather is up next.
The Barrow McNeils and Christmas. It's a holiday tradition. see. It's Christmas in Killarney with all of the folks from home.
Rich harmonies, great instrumentals, and lively dance numbers have made them the top Celtic group in North America.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining.
2 shows, 3 and 7:30, Sunday, December 22nd at the Cohen. For tickets, call the box office or online at artscentre.dal.ca. Celebrate the season with the Barra McNeils, presented by Seaside FM, a Brooks Diamond production.
Seaside FM. Merry Christmas.
The following program is brought to you in the high-power stereophonic sounds of Seaside FM in conjunction with...
My name is Charles Schwinn and I'm your host. December 21st, 1988. 1989. My name is Charles Schwinn, welcome. 1990. And welcome to our 2nd anniversary show.
My name is Charles Schwinn, welcome.
April 3rd, 1994. And welcome to our 6th anniversary show.
My name is Charles Schwinn, and welcome.
Today's date is October 18th, 2004.
Welcome to Charles' Tape Series.
Welcome to the JSC.
Welcome to An Evening with Charles Schwinn.
Welcome to the Swing Arrangement with Charles Schwinn.
Welcome to Evening Solitude with Charles Schwinn. CQHS Productions, celebrating 31 years in broadcasting. And a good Thursday evening, everyone. Today's date is December 19th, 2019. Welcome to Evening Solitude with Charles Schwinn, right here on 105.9 Seaside FM, your home for the best music. A pleasant good evening to you all. I'm Charles Schwinn, and this is Evening Solitude. I bring you music until the program close. That's going to be down the line at 8 p.m. We are broadcasting to you live from our studios in the heart of Eastern Passage, and if you're picking us up on local radio, it's frequency modulation station signal 105.9 megahertz on your FM dial, on the internet at seasidefm.com, on Bell Aligned Digital TV channel 779, East Link Digital TV channel 952. You can also pick us up on your mobile device at seasidefm.com and clicking the Listen Live button on your screen. But if you want to watch and listen to me, you can do it one of 3 ways, going to Facebook Live, YouTube Live, or Twitch TV, and just search Charles, Hsuen, and the date, December 19, and you will see the video link, and watch and listen to me and see what goes on behind the scenes on those platforms. If you want to contact me, you can chat with me online at Facebook Live or YouTube Live or Twitch TV on those 3 platforms, or by giving us a call here at 902-469-6000 and call on our request hotline. A very happy birthday goes out to Susie Arioli, a national treasure, a Canadian jazz singer who has put out so many great albums in the last 20-plus years, including this one that I believe came out on the Just in Time label 9 years ago, and in time for Christmas. Christmas Dreaming, featuring Jordan Officer on guitar. And Susie is, I think, listening to us, and I want to wish her a nice 19th birthday. So here is Winter Wonderland, Susie Arioli and Jordan Officer right here to kick things off on Evening Solitude with Charles Schwinn.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is a new bird. He sings a love song as we go along, pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man. But you can do the job when you're in town. Later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland.
And that's Winter Wonderland. Susie Arioli, a Canadian treasure who's celebrating a birthday today, and she hails from Montreal. And thank you very much, Susie, for doing all of your great artistry as well as listening to this program. We're going to be hearing now sounds for a particular friend of mine who is a big Dean Martin fan, and I had just bestowed upon him the complete Dean Martin collection. His name is Sean. He works in my building at work and is a big fan of the classic crooners. And I believe his father is as well. Well, I'm going to have one of the best crooners sing one of my favorite songs. In fact, it is the most successful song that was ever released on record. And it was originally sung by Bing Crosby. That was the hit version. But this one was my favorite version of all time. I used to listen to it as a kid and then ask my father why he just sounds so very, very tired. But meanwhile, we knew that Dean had just a few too many. I'm talking about Dean Martin. Here's Irving Berlin's White Christmas by Dean Martin for Sean, right here on Evening Solitude with Charles Schwinn.
Of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I am dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. I'm dreaming of a white and may all your Christmases be white.
Video streaming on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch TV. You're watching and listening to Evening Solitude with Charles Schwinn. Doc Emerson and the Tonight Show Band from 1991, the year before. Doc and the boys ended a 30-year relationship with Johnny Carson because Johnny had retired on May 22nd the following year, 1992, on NBC after dominating for 30 years on late-night television. That was Merry Christmas from Doc Severinsen and the Tonight Show Band. Of course, that was Jingle Bells with Tommy Newsom on clarinet. Tommy used to substitute for Doc on the old Johnny Carson show when Doc would be touring. And he had, let's say, a very plain personality that was always the foil for Johnny. Before that, we heard sounds by Susie Arioli. And, no, that was Dean Martin, actually, and that was White Christmas, Irving Berlin's White Christmas. And that was one of my favorite versions of that song. Last Sunday, I had the good fortune of doing 3 back-to-back concerts with the great Jerry Granelli, a fellow Haligonian here who has been here for over 30 years, since 1987. He is the drummer and the original drummer of the Vince Guaraldi Trio, which recorded in 1965 one of the most classic Christmas albums of all time, a Charlie Brown Christmas soundtrack. And it was originally sponsored by Coca-Cola, and for many years, Jerry Granelli did not receive credit for it. In 2006, he did, and he started touring nationally with the entire soundtrack. And we did 3 wonderful concerts, and along with his trio, Chris Gestrin, and also the Sacred Hearts Choir, the children's choir. One of the famous songs that he headed off the concert was Christmas Time Is Here. Here's the Vince Guaraldi Trio doing the original version right here on Evening Solitude with Charles Schwinn. Celebrating 31 years in broadcasting. My name is Charles Schwinn, and this is Evening Solitude on Seaside FM, the home of good music.
It's Christmas time all over the world, and Christmas here at home. The church bells chime wherever we roam. The snow is thick in most of the world, and Children's eyes are wide as old Saint Nick gets ready to ride.
So Feliz Navidad, Fortune very cheap, and Happy New Year
to you. Though the customs may change and the language is strange, this appeal we feel is real in Holland or Hong Kong. It's Christmas time all over the world and places near and far. And so, my friends, wherever you are, which means a very Merry Christmas to you.
Though the customs may change and the language is strange, this appeal we feel is real in Holland or Hong Kong.
Yes, it's Christmas time all over the world, in places near and far. And so, my friends, wherever you are, that's right. Which means a very Merry Christmas to Merry Christmas, everybody.
That's Sammy Davis Jr. with Christmas Time All Over the World. That was out of print for many, many years. Then an album called Christmas with the Rat Pack came out and released a lot of Sammy Davis Jr.'s lost hits. A lot of them went into moratorium because Sammy owed a lot of money to the IRS after he had passed away in 1990. For 7 years, the many lawyers were trying to see if they could have control of Sammy Davis Jr.'s estate so that they can re-release. But between those years, 1990 and 1997, you could not find a legitimate release of Sammy Davis Jr.'s material. That's Christmas Time All Over the World. And before that, Vince Guaraldi, the classic recording of Christmas Time Is Here. We're now going to be hearing sounds by Juke Pearson and his orchestra playing a wonderful rendition of Sleigh Ride. And this one is one of my favorite versions because it is so very different from many of the versions that you hear. It's very, oftentimes Sleigh Ride is done very quickly, very fast, Leroy Anderson's classic. This one's done in a very cool fashion and almost in a very minimalistic way. So let's have a listen now to Juke Pearson and his jazz trio with Sleigh Ride. spectrum of music of the Great American Songbook and more. You're listening to Evening Solitude with Charles Schwinn, right here on 105.9 Seaside FM, the home of good music. Lawrence Welk and his orchestra with the Christmas song, written by Bob Wells and Mel Torme. Yes, Mel Torme, the Velvet Fog. And doing Lawrence Welk's champagne music style, the bubbly champagne music style that was very synonymous with so many Saturday evenings, which is when the Lawrence Welk Show would broadcast on ABC, then syndicated after 1971, and then been on PBS for the last 35 some odd years. And so that is his rendition of the Christmas song. But I have had many requests for the one, the only version, because there is the one and only version of the Christmas song. But I will have it with a twist, as I always have. And this is Frank Sinatra and Nat King Cole, who never sang together officially with a recording. But many years later, the Nat King Cole version was edited with the Frank Sinatra version to give you this one. It is done with the Ralph Carmichael arrangement with Nat King Cole, and Frank Sinatra joins in. And here it is.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos.
Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe can help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight.
They know that Santa's on his way.
He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh.
And every mother's child is gonna spy
to see if reindeer really know how to fly.
And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92.
Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you.
And every mother's child is gonna smile to see if reindeer really know how to fly.
And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said
many times,
many
ways, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas
to And that is Merry Christmas to You, the Christmas song written by Bob Wells, and that was performed by Frank Sinatra and Nat King Cole. Don Byron is up next, and this one's sent out for a very special lady who calls in each and every week and tells me that I need to bring her little friends out, and I'm talking about Mary. So, Mary, this one for you. Here is The Penguin by Don Byron, because it is that time of year, and here it is in full glory.
That's Don Byron and the Penguin, sent out for a very special lady who calls in each and every week and loves that song so very, very much. We're going to be hearing sounds now with a medley of tunes, and this one is a famous one because, and I play this every year because it is that time of year where Nutcracker Suite is being played by so many symphony orchestras around the world. It is, of course, Tchaikovsky's, one of his most famous pieces, and has many different movements. And I think this is one of the most cleverly arranged movements of this particular piece of music. Here's Les Brown and his band Renown doing the Nutcracker Suite in a swinging version just for you. celebrating 31 years in broadcasting and loving every minute of it. You're listening to Evening Solitude with Charles Schwinn, right here on 105.9 Seaside FM, the home of good music.
Happy holiday, while the merry bells keep ringing, may your every wish come true. Happy holiday, may the calendar keep bringing happy holidays to you.
If you're burdened down with trouble, if your nerves are wearing thin, pack your load down the road and come to Holiday Inn.
If the traffic noise affects you like a squeaky violin, kick your cares down the stairs, come to Holiday Inn.
If you can't find someone who will set your heart a-whirl, take your car and motor to the home of boy meets girl.
If you're laid up with a breakdown, throw away your vitamins.
Don't get worse.
Grab your nurse and come to Holiday Inn.
Happy holiday, happy holiday. While the merry bells are ringing, may your every wish come true. Happy holiday, happy holiday. May the calendar keep bringing happy holiday to you.
Happy holiday, while the merry bells keep ringing, may your every wish come true. Happy holiday, may the calendar keep bringing happy holidays to you.
That's Happy Holiday, and that's the Merry Maids with Bing Crosby. And that was from Holiday Inn, which was a great motion picture. That's, I guess, it came out in 1942. Bing Crosby, Fred Astaire. And that was the opening and debut of White Christmas. A lot of people thought it was White Christmas, the movie, but no, that was that came about 13 years after. So, but speaking of White Christmas, there was a new Broadway cast recording of that done in 2006, and Jeffrey Denman, along with the Broadway cast, sang a lot of the songs that were from the original soundtrack. And here is The Best Things Happen While You're Dancing.
Best things happen while you're dancing. Things that you would not do at home come naturally on the floor. For dancing soon becomes romancing when you hold a girl in your arms that you've never held before. Even guys with two left feet come out all right if the girl is sweet. If by chance their cheeks should meet while dancing, proving that the best things happen while you dance.
Dancing, things that you would not do at home come naturally on the floor. For dancing
Irving Berlin's White Christmas. The best things happen while you're dancing. Jeffrey Denman and the Irving Berlin Dancers. And that one from the Irving Berlin's White Christmas, originally Broadway cast recording from 2006. Originally sung by Danny Kaye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of year again where we present to you the classic Chimes of Christmas. I'll be back again in half an hour, 30 minutes time, and then you will be able to hear this some more great music for the last half hour of Evening Solitude with Charles Schwinn. And now, here is the Chimes of Christmas.
CFEP 105.9
Seaside FM.
It all began a long time ago, and this holiday radio tradition continues today. The magic of the season shines bright with master storyteller Cy Lynch and the Chimes of Christmas.
Christmas, and the word itself bespeaks a kindlier feeling towards our fellow man. For Christmas is a time for remembering, a time for letting the mind and heart run back to scenes and events dear to the heart, and recalling that time years ago when the world was witness to the first Christmas. These are the Chimes of Christmas.
Snowflakes falling down on every little town, a blanket of stars above. Church bells are ringing, children are singing. It's Christmas, it's Christmas, Christmas everywhere. Lovers often go under mistletoe and kiss until dawn's early light. Sleigh bells are ringing, choirs are singing. It's Christmas, Christmas everywhere. Christmas trees all aglow, stockings are hung with care, stars brightly gleaming, children are dreaming that Santa soon will be there. Snowflakes falling down on every little town, a blanket of stars above. Church bells are ringing, choirs are singing. It's Christmas, Christmas everywhere. It's Christmas
Last night I crept across the snow, where only tracking rabbits go, and then I waited quite alone until the Christmas radiance shone. At midnight 20 angels came, each white and shining like a flame. At midnight 20 angels sang, the stars swung out like bells and rang. They lifted me across the hill. They bore me in their arms until a greater glory greeted them. It was the town of Bethlehem. And gently then they set me down, all worshiping that holy town. And gently they bade me raise my head in worship and to praise. And gently then the Christ child smiled down. Ah, there was glory in that town. It was as if the world were free and glistening with purity. And in that vault of crystal blue, it was as if the world were new, and myriad angels, file on file, gloried in the Christ child's smile. Ah, it was so beautiful to see such glory for a child like me. So beautiful, it does not seem it could have been a Christmas dream.
With Christmas coming up, may I remind you that there's no carol that offers more fun for a few people singing together, whether they can sing or not, than that old standby, The 12 Days of Christmas. Oh, there's a fine lilt to it, and the fascination that children of all ages find in a cumulative song on the model of The House That Jack Built, where the list of things to be remembered and repeated gets longer with each stanza, and you get all out of breath, and you have a grand time. It's an old and universal carol in celebration of the 12 days from Christmas to Epiphany. You know it. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. And then it goes on with a list of the most riotously inappropriate and ludicrous gifts. 2 turtle doves, 3 French hens, 6 geese laying, 7 swans singing, 8 maids milking, ending with 12 drummers drumming. Nonsense? Oh, no. No, not by a jug full of wassail. It is a profound philosophy of giving. It celebrates the high wisdom of completely inappropriate and largely useless gifts. And a good thing to remember just before Christmas. A partridge in a pear tree? Now what on earth could one do with that? But that's the beauty of it. That makes it something to sing about. And folks have been singing about it for several hundred years. Now, would they have sung about a floor mop? Highly appropriate for house cleaning. Or a tea kettle? Or a foot warmer? Oh, no. No, not much. So take a suggestion for your shopping list. Give your true love an inappropriate gift. Now, don't get Grandma another lace cap or a pair of woolen mittens. Now, she has plenty already, and besides, she hates the things. Yes, get her a little bottle of Chanel No. 5, or a set of lipsticks, or a pair of dancing slippers. Now, that will boost her morale. Make her feel like she's still alive. And as you reach for that fine book for your beloved pastor, the learned tome Archaeology in the Bible, stay your hand. Reach over to the next counter and give him the New Yorker Book of Cartoons. Oh, there'll be several cartoons by Peter Arno, highly inappropriate for the clergy, but that's the idea. There are few joys greater than that of stepping out of character for a time. And I'll bet it'll do a lot more for his sermons, too. Yes, there are few joys greater than that of stepping out of character. And, oh, by the way, and father, lay off the neckties and the conservative scarf. Why not get him an electric train, appropriate for age 9? All his own. Now, Junior, you keep away. Dad has always had a yen for one. And for your wife, well, that has me stumped, as usual. Well, how about, how about a partridge in a pear tree? Well, it would be a surprise. Oh, the best gifts of love are those which show a lovely lack of common sense. Flowers, they fade, don't they? A bracelet, invariably a nuisance. It's usually on the 25th anniversary that a husband gives a vacuum cleaner or a mix master. There is high precedent for all of this. The first Christmas gift was highly inappropriate, a baby in a barn. Who wanted that? No one clapped his hands and said, "Goody, goody, just what I wanted." That is, no one except a few souls who could really see. Simon and Anna in the temple, some shepherds, his mother. They were all looking for a king to slay their foes and lift them high. Thou camest, a little baby thing, to make a woman cry.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a partridge in a pear tree.
On the second day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree.
On the third day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
On the fourth love sent to me. 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me. 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 6th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 6 geese a-laying, 5 bell rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 7th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 7 swans swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 gold rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 8th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 gold rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 gold rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 10 birds a-leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 7 swans a-swimming, 5 gold rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 11th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 11 pipers piping, 10 lords a-leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 gold rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 12 drummers drumming, 11 pipers piping, 10 lords a-leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Twinkle was a mischievous little angel who loved to play in the streets of heaven. Now, there were many happy cherubs there, but Twinkle had a bubbling boyishness which made him popular with his friends. There was a glint of playfulness in his eyes which won him his name. He was known occasionally to play tricks that disturbed some of the older and, well, more sedate angels. Sometimes, at a serious moment, he would lift his eyes and wink at some sober, elderly angel who, in spite of himself, could not help smiling back at the little fellow with his downy wings. Twinkle had a lovely little silver halo, which he usually wore tilted a bit to one side, as no proper angel should. Well, one day word went around heaven that a great event was to occur on a distant star called Earth, and that a company of angels was going on a journey to celebrate this important occasion. Well, Twinkle did not understand what it was all about, but when a crowd gathered, he was there. So Twinkle tagged along. The angels flew rapidly to the earth and delivered their message, announcing the birth of a child who was to be a savior, a lord of goodwill, a prince of peace. Well, as the angelic chorus sang, little Twinkle fluttered about on the edge of the cherubic host. Their mission performed, the angels started back to heaven. But Twinkle was a curious little fellow, and he wanted to see this about which the angels were so excited. So he decided to find out. Instead of returning with his friends, he settled down on the dark hillside and, keeping well in the shadows, followed some shepherds who were going to investigate the news the angels had brought. Twinkle saw the shepherds go into a nearby town and then into a stable. Well, very, very quietly, Twinkle tiptoed over to the door of the stable, and as the shepherds returned to their flocks on the hills, he pushed the door open gently and stepped inside without a sound. Well, what was so wonderful about this? Just a woman holding something in her arms. Well, she looked up and saw the chubby little angel standing there. Well, partly through embarrassment and partly because he was the kind of angel he was, Twinkle winked at the woman. Well, she smiled, a gracious, gentle smile it was, and encouraged him, so he came closer. And then he saw the little baby in her arms. Oh, it was the most beautiful little baby that Twinkle had ever seen. So helpless and so dear. So this was to be a savior. This infant was one whose advent heaven was celebrating. Well, the twinkle in the little angel's eyes brightened, and he reached up to his silver halo. Of course, it was tilted on the side as usual. And he took it off, and reaching it out, placed it on the head of the babe. And again, the child's mother smiled in gratitude. She reached out her hand to touch Twinkle, but he was startled by his daring, and he turned and fled into the night. Well, he was quite out of breath, and his wings were worn when he finally reached the gates of heaven. And hearing his clamor for admission, St. Peter opened the portals and greeted him with a stern reproof. "Twinkle, where have you been? And what have you done with your halo? Have you gotten yourself in trouble again?" But Twinkle slipped in without answering. But the story soon spread, and everyone wondered how Twinkle had lost his lovely silver halo. Such misbehavior as this must be brought to the attention of the good Father who ruled in heaven. So when all the celestial company was gathered about the great white throne, little Twinkle came and stood alone, amid the reproachful looks of the other angels. "Father," he said, forgive me for losing my halo. You see, I gave it to the little babe in the manger at Bethlehem. Oh, that one of their number should think so little of his halo that he would give it away. But the father looked at Twinkle and smiled. You have done well, he said. And then the angels who were watching Twinkle were amazed to see shining above his face a new halo, brighter than the other, for this was of the purest gold. Twinkle felt it on his head. He reached up to touch it with his hand to make sure it was real. And it was. Well, he gave it a slight tilt to one side, for that was the jaunty sort of angel Twinkle was.
Hear what I hear. Said the night wind to the little lamb, do you see what I see? Way up in the sky, little lamb, do you see what I see? A star, dancing in the night with a tail as big as a kite, with a tail as big as a kite. Said the little lamb to the shepherd boy, do you hear what I hear? Hear what I hear? Ringing through the sky, shepherd boy, do you hear what I hear? Hear what I hear? A song, high above the tree with a voice as big as the sea, with a voice as big as the sea. Said the shepherd boy to the mighty king, do you know what I know? You know what I know. In your palace, war mighty king, do you know what I know? You know what I know. A child shivers in the cold. Let us bring him silver and gold. Let us bring him silver and gold. Said the king to the people everywhere, listen to what I say. Pray for peace, people everywhere. Listen to what I say. The child, sleeping in the night, he will bring us goodness and light. He will bring us goodness and light.
So take a bushel of tinsel and sprinkle well throughout the house. Add 2 dozen stars and 1 graceful Christmas tree. Take a generous spray of mistletoe, an armload of holly, and a full measure of snow laid in curved hills along the windowsills. Toss in a Christmas carol and season well with goodwill and friendly laughter. Light the candles, 1 for adoration, 2 for celebration. Let the first burn brightly, and may those you love be near. They yield 1 happy Christmas.
You've been listening to the radio classic Chimes of Christmas with master storyteller, the late Cy Lynch.
Our faithful Lower Sackville Mission thrift store clients delight in telling us we have the lowest prices, the friendliest staff, the cleanest store, and the greatest surprise sales every day of the week. Every Monday and Tuesday, we offer seniors and students 20% discounts. Look for us at the Big Green Mission Thrift Store sign at the corner of Glendale Drive and Temple Terrace in Lower Sackville. Come shop, come save. On behalf of all our store staff and volunteers, we are delighted to extend blessed and wonderful Merry Christmas greetings to you and all your loved ones.
It's here, the Silver Bells, deck the halls, holiday shopping season. This year, give the gift that keeps on giving, a membership to saltwire.com, the new home of the local news, stories, and opinions shaping our communities and Canada's East Coast. And good news, now's the perfect time to give. Saltwire.com digital gift packages start at just $59.99 for the entire year. So for stress-free gift giving, visit saltwire.com/gift and wrap up your holiday shopping with a gift that's new every day.
Hi, I'm Faye Gertrude, and I won the Seaside FM Dash for Christmas Cash.
Congratulations to Faye Gertrude of Kings County for winning $64,610 in the Seaside FM Dash for Christmas Cash online 50/50 fundraiser. Proceeds will be used to support the operation of Seaside FM Radio. Be sure to listen for our next online 50/50 fundraiser to be held early in the new year. The Seaside FM Dash for Christmas Cash was sponsored by the Carolyn Davis Stewart team, Souls in Motion, Into the Mystic, and the Crossing Retirement Community in Windsor. From all of us down here at Seaside FM, we'd like to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Hi, I'm Andy Soller of the Soller Group, Remax Nova. When should you sell your home? How much should you ask? Is this a seller's or a buyer's market? At Remax Nova, we monitor market conditions to know when the time is right and the time to sell is now. Excellent citywide growth, great lending rates, and minimal inventory make selling your home now a great opportunity for you. We can help you take advantage of this seller's market. Call me today at 902-233-9902 or visit us on
Dartmouth South Eastern Passage. I'd like to take this opportunity to remind all of us that the real joy over the holidays comes from caring and from sharing. So this year, please remember those in our communities less fortunate than you and I. With that, I wish each and every one of you and your families a very safe and happy holiday season.
This is the adult grown-up sound, Seaside FM.
Welcome back to an abbreviated edition of Evening Solitude. My name is Charles Schwinn, and we have just heard the classic playing of our traditional piece of radio history, The Chimes of Christmas. And that was with Cy Lynch, the master storyteller, and it plays each and every year that I have been here on Seaside FM the week before Christmas. Well, we are going to start things off with Brenda Brown. She is a singer that comes out of, I believe, Hamilton, if I'm not mistaken. And she has put out a new couple of songs, an EP as well. And my friend Ross Wooldridge, who is a fantastic clarinet player and does a lot of great Benny Goodman tributes, helped with Brenda's project of putting a number of these tracks off the ground. So here is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Brenda Brown, if you want to have more information, go to brendabrownmusic.blogspot.com for more information. And here is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas by Brenda Brown.
Christmas future is far away. Christmas past last. Christmas present is here today, bringing joy that will last. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years, we all will be together, if the fates allow. Until then, we'll have to muddle through somehow. So have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Through the years, we all will be together, if the fates allow. So hang a shining star upon the highest and have yourself a merry little Christmas
Celebrating 31 years in broadcasting and loving every minute of it. You're listening to Evening Solitude with Charles Schwinn, right here on 105.9 Seaside FM, the home of good music. Rob McConnell and the Boss Brass, and that was Away in the Manger. That one, the UK version, for those of you who grew up in Europe or was based out of English, because there is an American melody of Away in the Manger that many people are more familiar with, more of the younger people. But there are two different versions that are sung in two very different ways of the same lyric. And there we have Rob McConnell and the Boss Brass from Big Band Christmas. That one coming out from 1997. Before that, Brenda Brown, and Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, and with the help of Ross Wooldridge. Thank you very much, Ross, for introducing me to Brenda and for having me be able to play that wonderful string arrangement that backed her up on this program. Matt Dusk came out with an album called Old School Yule in 2017, and here he is joined by Sophia Perlman with Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Oh, you better watch out, you better not cry,
You better not pout, I'm telling you why.
Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list and checking it twice.
Gonna find out who's naughty or nice.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake.
He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry.
You better not pout, I'm telling you why.
Santa Claus is coming to town. With little tin horns and little toy drums, Rudy Toot Toots and Rummy Tum Tums. Santa's coming to town. And curly-haired dolls that cuddle and coo, elephants, boats, and kitty cars too. Santa's coming to town.
The kids and girls at Wonderland will have a jubilee.
They're gonna build a toyland all around the Christmas tree. So you better watch out, you better not cry,
You better not pout, I'm telling you why.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Watch out, you better not cry.
You better not pout, I'm telling you why.
Santa Claus is coming to town. So you better watch out, better not cry, better not pout. Here's why, 'cause Santa is coming to town. Better be good.
Hear the crooners, the big bands, the small groups, and more. You're listening to Evening Solitude with Charles Schwinn, right here on 105.9 Seaside FM, the home of good music.
outside is frightful, and the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of stopping, and I brought some coal for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I'll hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. The fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbye. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. But the fire is so delightful, and since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of stopping, and I brought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Kiss goodnight, how I'll hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. The fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbye. But as long as you love me so, let it snow.
The great Nancy Wilson with Let It Snow, with a fantastic big band behind her. And we heard that from a wonderful styling of the big band. I believe that was arranged by Ray Charles. Fantastic, fantastic arrangement. Well, we got one more piece of music before we cut away, and then jazz and then some with Martin Usher from 8 to 10 p.m. as he customarily takes his chair and he'll swing you along for the Christmas. But before I get too bunched at the end of the program, I want to wish each and every one of you a fantastic holiday, and I will be seeing you in 2020. This will be the end of another decade, folks, and I want to wish you a very safe and happy holiday. Get lots of rest, and if you are going away, then please have a very, very safe journey. And as apropos, I'll be playing Al Coyote and Riz Ortolani with Holiday on Skis to conclude this program, and wishing you a great journey.